Alright, take a look. So, I started playing with this little amp, this RM3 KL302. At first I didn't know if I was going to keep it, what I was going to do with it, but I got it at an offer-up score with that McKinley over there. I think I paid $100 for the radio and the amp. But I didn't know if I was going to put it in my car or what I was going to do with it. But then I started doing some more testing with it. And it actually puts out about the same amount of wattage as my Palomar TX100 on sideband. I mean, it's probably a couple watts less, but my thought was, you know, if I burn this thing up, it's a lot cheaper to fix than that Palomar. Like, trying to find those transistors, those power transistors, they're really expensive. We're talking $40-50 minimum, you know, maybe $100, I'm not sure. Unless I put Toshiba's or some other kind of brand in there. But I have to, like, rebias the transistors, a bunch of other stuff, so be a total headache. Whereas I can get a set of 4 of these, you know, for like less than $20. Yeah, as far as I know, they run the RM3 transistors, but nobody really knows 100% what those are. If they're IRF520s or what they are, 100%. Because they scratched the name off. So, if I'm going to be pushing this thing to the limit, I wanted to give it like a more active cooling situation. So, I designed this last night. It's like a cooling chassis. The fan hasn't come in yet, but let me show it to you real fast. It's like a bottom plate that locks on place, and then just basic little chassis goes over this. It's going to be 80 millimeter, 80 millimeters by 10 millimeters wide. So it's a tiny fan. And I originally wasn't sure if I was going to put a grill on top or not, but sometimes the grills actually make the fan more noisy. I mean, I learned that in 3D printing a long time ago. You know, I used to make these really elaborate extruder systems. You know, having the grill on there would actually make the fan a lot noisier. So I kind of want the silent. So I got a silent little small fan. Like, you don't need to overcool this thing. You just need to have steady flow through it. That's kind of why there's this open area here, is I wanted to be able to get airflow around here. It evacuates out the front and back. But one of the things I wanted to do is I'm going to replace the power cords here, the power wires. Put a little bit better power wires in there. They seem like they're a little bit thin for the amount of... I mean, I think this probably draws like 15 amps, probably 12 to 15 amps. So it seems a little thin. I don't know, man. I'm going to upgrade the power wires a little bit. But then I also need to put a fan output on here. So, like I said, the fan hasn't come in from Amazon yet. But so I got to solder on. I got to take this bottom plate off. And then I'm going to solder on. So as soon as I turn the power on, I'm going to it's going to activate the fan. So fan will come on automatically. And to control the RPM of the fan, I might put like an inline resistor on the fan. So if it actually is spinning too fast and it's too noisy, I'm going to put an inline resistor to lower the speed down. Basically, I'm lowering the voltage down. But I'm going to also put a toroid too. Also, I'll wrap the fan in a little toroid, because you don't want that noise coming back into your filter. Or you don't want that noise to come back into your power line. Alright, so let me take the case cover off, and we're going to redo the power wire. And then I'm going to probably put an XT60 connector on. Alright, so I'm going to take this, it sucks I have to take the whole thing apart to get the soldered new wires on. So hopefully this is clearance I have down there, so I should have enough clearance to get some better wires in there. So for the fan, I'm going to hook it up to the power switch, obviously, because I want it to turn on. So I'm going to have one lead positive here, and then also I'm going to have it grounded somewhere on the chassis. Well, even if you guys don't want the chassis, at least this will be cool to see what these things are, what Mosfets are using. Alright, see if I can get this up without breaking it. You take a break. I'm trying to use with one hand, but okay. Yeah, that thermal paste looks a little dry, so I think I looked at it. Yeah, that's super dry thermal paste. So I'm actually glad I took it off now. What I'd like to know is what kind of, can I bend that without breaking it? I don't know. But yeah, the thermal paste is horrible, so totally dry. It's also, oh, I guess it's like a, Is it dry? I guess it's like a thermal insulator. Alright, so these can't be obviously probably, I mean, the reason why there's an insulator there maybe is because it can't be grounded out. But why did they put thermal compound here? Like, I understand, because if this can't be grounded, then you'd have an insulator. So maybe add some more compound on top of this, or on the backs of these, just to give a little bit more connectivity. Let's set one of those up. What are they doing, man? What are they thinking? What's the mystery here? They sand it off, so you don't know what they're using. So you're actually forced to buy their transistors. If you guys know what they use, I mean, everybody says it's IRF520. Some people say it's different. So I'm going to get a little rubbing alcohol and see if I can maybe see something on there. You know, when I first got this amp, I didn't know if it was a knockoff or not, because I didn't see the Italy part below the RM. But the PCB says RM Italy, but that doesn't mean it's not a bootleg, because they could easily bootleg it on there. The RM Italy on the PCB. Alright, yeah, like I said, it's all sanded, so I can't even figure out what the... I tried with the rubbing alcohol, see if they slipped up, but they sanded it pretty good, so I can't figure out what it is. Alright, cool. So I know I keep all these wires for a reason. Alright, so I found this old computer power cable, because the fan that's going to come in is actually a 3-pin. So you have, on a 3-pin, a computer power, you actually have obviously power, ground, positive, and the yellow is typically the tachometer returned. So it tells the motherboard how fast the fan is spinning. Alright, so I trace this thing here. So this little via right here is power on. So that's power source, this bus. And then power on is on the positive side, the switch side going back. Yeah, this ground side took a lot of heat though, because it has this big old pad, it sucks down a lot of heat. So, alright, got that back here, power and thing here. Got to make sure the wires aren't thick enough, or too thick, where it's going to prevent the Mosfets from sitting flushly on the heatsink. So, small little dab at Mix 4 paste here. Put this back on. First phase is complete. Got it mounted at the bottom plate. I'm going to slide this on top. Alright, so I'm using M3 10mm. I think they're called panhead. So, got the legs on. So you can actually either use like these small, I'll put links down below, but rubber legs, or just like, actually I was going to 3D print it, but I kind of wanted rubber because, I mean, it is a fan moving, you know, so there is sort of vibration. But, alright, so now I gotta wait for this fan to come in, and I will be back. Alright, I think it turned out pretty good. The light here. Alright, yeah, I don't put anything my stuff behind a paywall. It's on my Thingiverse page, free to download. Print out if you want it, if it's a 3D printer. I don't know if I don't have enough time, I don't think, to print these out, but they are pretty, you know, if you want to make this as your little desk one, maybe even put like a, design like a wall mount one, or some, mount one like an undermount maybe. But then I guess the text, I guess I could do it like that. Well, then the fan wouldn't go over the heatsink. I have to think about it. I could actually make one with a air inlet on the top, but sort of like a undermount, you know. But and then the fan cord is wrapped up in a ferrite. Yeah, you want to do some kind of ferrite here, but you don't want that noise going right back into your power. So, all right, let's plug it in. Let's take a look. All right, power's on. All right. That's what I was shooting for. I get some hair in it. No noise. I have a hair in there or something in there. Alrighty. Oh, it's just a piece of plastic from the print. Alright. Oh yeah, that's plenty of air. More than enough air, sufficient air. Yeah, you don't typically want to use a larger fan. Larger fans are typically quieter. Alright, perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah, actually it only took me a couple shots. I was able to get like 1 or 2 prints. The dimensions correct, so pretty happy about that. Alright, I'll put links down below where you can get all the stuff, the fan, the feet, the screws, all my Thingiverse page down below.